And so today we're going to start out with the Baptist ministry. How can you have more fun than with a Baptist minister?
All right, amen. Amen.
So a Baptist minister decided to get himself a dog. And he said, you know, I got to think about the congregation. This dog has to be Baptist, right? Sure, it's common sense. So he goes around and tells all the kennels, you know, I need a Baptist dog. And all of them are kind of looking at him kind of weird, and they really couldn't fulfill his wish. But he came to this one kennel, and they could. They said, I got the perfect dog for you. So they brought the dog in, and the guy demonstrating at the kennel said, go pull the Bible from the bookshelf. And the Bible was up there in the bookshelf amongst a bunch of books, and he sure enough pulled the Bible. Showing great dexterity with his paws. Pulled the Bible out of the bookshelf, pulled it down. And the kennel owner said, not only that, but let me show you something else. Go to Psalm 23. And so the dog opened the Bible and put its paw right on Psalm 23 and showed the Baptist minister that. And the Baptist minister was excited, so he said, I got to take this dog, thank you very much. So he took it, bought it, took it to the congregation, had a special meeting for the congregation to show off his dog, and said, got this Baptist dog. I showed him off. So he had the Bible out and said, go to Psalm 41. And sure enough, the dog went to Psalm 41, put its paw on it, showed everybody in the congregation Psalm 41. Can you believe that? Did a great job. And then he did that a few times to other Bible verses, went straight to them. And then, good looking dog, huh? And then he said, one of the congregants said, well, does he do normal tricks? And he said, you know what? The minister said, I don't know. I never have tried. So let's just try it right now. So he said to the dog, heel. The dog came over to him, put his paw on his head, and started howling. And the minister said, oh my God, it's Pentecostal. All right. That's only a little bit of the fun we're going to have today. Let's start with our statements of truth. Together, please. I am a child of God. I am deserving good and good life. I am accepting my good now. Well, joy, you know, I chose this title because, you know, you hear joy to the world, you think of the Christmas and all the Christmas songs and things, but we can have joy at any time. And so I want you to know, as you already do, that joy is a natural state of being in our human consciousness. It is also a unique state of being to our human consciousness. Joy is a feeling that ignites all the cells in our body to their highest potential and allows us to express in our true self without feeling any limitations having them come to mind. Today I want us to become more aware of where joy comes from and how easy it is to access. And I want us also to be able to facilitate a time for you to feel joy, which we will in a little bit. And finally, I want us to just be in our joy. So what is joy? Excuse me. According to Merriam-Webster dictionary, joy is defined as the emotion evoked by well-being, success, or good fortune, or by the prospect of possessing what one desires and the expression or exhibition of such emotion. Well, I think we can all understand this. And of course, that baby may bring joy to your heart right now. We all have felt this. We felt it probably in that laughter a minute ago and maybe in that baby. No matter how joy is brought about, though, we can feel the sense of good and goodness it brings to our body, can't we? When we laugh and when we look at a baby, we can kind of feel that coming into our body. We're expressing from our body more accurately. When we know that God is good and only good, then we can easily understand good and goodness are synonyms with God. When we are feeling good, we are feeling God. The God that is omnipresent, both inside and out. Joy, the word, appears in the Bible 165 times. 102 times in the Old Testament and 63 times in the New Testament. That's using the King James Version. It is not by far the most used word in the Bible. There are actually two words that are the most used. I bet you could guess both of them, but I'm going to give you one of them and ask you to guess the other one. God is used second most, and it's used 4,444 times in the Bible. The most used word in the Bible, though, is a different one, and I bet you can guess it. What would you say again?
Love.
I like that guess. I wish it was love.
Oh my gosh.
You have to write the starting letter.
Lord?
Yeah, it's Lord. It's not even close. Lord is used 7,946 times. And all of these numbers are used in the King James Version, but even if you look at any other version, it's going to be that kind of differential. But the reason I bring this up is because there are so many names or words that we've used for God in the Bible that we refer to some aspect of God, that even though the word God itself is not the most used word in the Bible, if you added all the words that are synonyms for God, then it by far would be the most used word in the Bible. Probably in any language that we talk also, yet we don't always realize it. Joy is one of those synonyms or attributes of God. During the teaching of the vine on the branches, in the Gospel of John 15:11, Jesus tells us, "These things I have spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy might be full." From this statement, we may ask ourselves, is there two different joys? Is the joy that Jesus experienced different than the joy you or I experience? The my joy that Jesus refers to in this statement is the joy that he had discovered inside himself that each of us possess. It is important for us to know and about this joy that he talks about is within us, expressed as the Christ. And when we realize where this joy is and where it is coming from, then our joy can be full, because our joy is the joy that we express in life. Joy is even a comforter in times of sorrow. From John 16:22, Jesus says, "So with you, now is your time of grief, but I will see you again, and you will rejoice, and no one will take away your joy." I remember many years ago when we found out my mother's cancer was terminal. We were all in a hospital, Francie and my kids and my brother and my sister. My sister and I gathered in a circle for a moment because we had just heard the news from the doctor, and we were all very sad, of course. And for some reason, though, I said something that made us all begin laughing. The physical sense of relief was so palpable, it was amazing. All the stress and sorrow seemed to be lifted in that instance. And we all knew that Mother must have had me say what I said to lift the burden that each one of us had taken on unnecessarily and replaced it with joy. Jesus goes on discussing joy in 16:24. "Until now, you have not asked for anything in my name, and you will receive, or ask and you will receive, and your joy will be complete." He is explaining that we may have experienced a part of joy by something outside of us, prompting that inner feeling. Maybe a joke or a video made us laugh, or maybe being present when someone else is feeling joy, and it touched you and made you feel joy. These things and feelings of joy can be felt by anyone who is living life. And yet, to get really a full measure of joy, we have to pull it from its source, which is within each one of us. Take a moment now to just relax and not necessarily go into meditation, but think of a time when you felt joy for no reason in particular. If you can't remember a time, try it now. Try to think of the baby or the joke or something that can bring you joy. Just allow yourself to relax and think of something that brings a smile to your face. This is what our subconscious is actually set up for in the human experience. To bring the truth to us when outer facts may say something different. You see how that is? Our subconscious is set up to bring us the truth when on the outer facts our conscious awareness in that moment is seeing something other than the truth. that isn't really how our subconscious, that's not how we were brought up, and that's not really how our subconscious works, does it? I mean, it can, but it's not working that way all the time, at least. Usually our subconscious is bringing up something, something negative happens or not the truth happens in our life, and our subconscious kind of piles on. Oh yeah, that brings up that time when this person was bad to me too. All these people are bad. That's not what the subconscious is used for or can be used for, or it wasn't not intended for that. So as we learn more about that, we can know how to use our subconscious and feel it. If you remember, a long time ago, it's been probably over a year ago, I don't remember how long ago it was, but I told you about what Fillmore taught us, of course, the superconsciousness, the subconsciousness, and the consciousness. And the subconsciousness is between the superconsciousness, which is your direct connection with God, which is where you are when you are in a full meditative state, and you know that you're part of the whole. And the subconscious is between what you are aware of. Both feed into the subconscious. We choose, though, what stays in the subconsciousness. So, I like to give those examples like that because I'm so, I want to see it and feel it and know how it works. But this is what the subconscious is for. And in this way, we can manifest more of the truth in our world by using the subconscious correctly and accept the blessings that the universe has for all of us. So as you relax for a minute, I want you to listen because there's going to be a song sung now by Sam and the rest of the choir. And it's a beautiful song that they rehearsed and it sounds great, so I want you to enjoy that.
I used to think that I could not go on, and life was nothing but an awful song. But now I know the meaning of true love. You see, I'm leaning on the everlasting lines. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. Spread my wings and fly away. I believe I can soar. I see me running through that open door. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. I believe I can fly. See, I was on the edge of breaking out. Sometimes the silence seems so loud. There are miracles in life I must achieve. But first I know it starts inside of me. If I can see it, I can do it. If I just believe it, there's nothing to it. I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. I think about it every night and day. believe I can fly.
That was good. Thank you all. Very, very good. So as we are in a place of opening up and seeing all the possibilities that are right in front of us right now, we know where that joy comes from. We know we can fly. We know how to fly. Because we know the wings are within us. Now we are going to enter into a place where we're going to facilitate a place for you to experience joy. This may seem like joy is coming from the outside of you, but it won't be. I want you to feel the joy coming from inside of your own being. As we all stand, I know that some of you may have thought it was cool in here, and a little bit you're not going to think it's cool. But I want us all to stand and join in this process of experiencing joy. Now, I usually don't do this except for retreats or things like this, and the kids actually know this a lot better than most of you all probably do, unless you've been raised in unity. But what we're going to experience here is a simple spiritual dance that has easy words that are repeated, and it's some movements with this dance. So during the dance, you may bump into one another. But don't let that bother you, or keep you from fully experiencing your joy. As we begin, please try to stay up, because there's no musical need in this, so you guys are going to stay
You guys
with
have
us.
to do it too.
Come on, Bill. Come
Please
on,
try
Bill. Come on.
They're going to stand up. Please try and stay up with the leaders. I guess I didn't plan on me and Francie being the leaders, but I guess we're going to be.
the only ones.
And keep your own saliva to yourself. One thing I know that you're going to experience from this, and I guarantee you'll get it, is that you will have a whole new view of the people in this room that you're going to experience this with, and one that you never will forget. The name of the song, and if somebody has heard this before, needs to, well, they'll start laughing
Well,
first.
Anna, you might know.
They may need to come up here and lead us, because it's been many years since I've done it. But the name of the song is Tootie Top. Not many have heard it?
You guys know
And the lyrics will be on the potty.
Potty pool.
Potty.
it? The potty.
I would like to take my jacket off, but I can't. So Francie and I are going to do this. We're going to just tell you the kind of the
Well, we'll
first
just
part.
say it first, and then you
It's-
can join in.
No. It's just I want to tell them what chorus.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, do that. Okay.
Okay.
A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top. A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top.
Very
Okay,
good.
that's
Now
all you have to
Patrick
do.
and
Diane
are
better-
going to go to a Unitine rally here in a little bit. We're gonna
This
probably
weekend,
do
this
that.
next weekend, so they're probably gonna do it at the rally.
So, here's the steps with it, and just the chorus. You're just going like this. A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top.
A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top.
Thumbs up!
Thumbs up.
A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top. A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top.
Thumbs up, thumbs up.
Elbows
back.
in. Elbows back.
Yeah.
Elbows back. You gotta sing this with us.
Yeah,
You got
you
the
gotta repeat after us, okay? So thumbs up, elbows back,
Elbows back.
a tootie top,
A tootie top, a tootie top top. A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top.
Thumbs up. Thumbs up.
elbows back,
Elbows back.
Feet apart.
Feet apart.
A
Tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top. A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top.
thumbs up,
Thumbs up.
Elbows back.
Elbows back.
feet apart,
Feet apart.
knees together.
Knees together. A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top. A tootie top, a tootie top, a tootie top top.
Thumbs up,
Thumbs up.
elbows back,
Elbows back.
feet apart,
Feet apart.
Knees together.
Knees together.
Bottoms up.
arms up.
A
A
tootie
tootie top,
A tootie top, a tootie top top.
a tootie apart, knees together, bottoms up, tongue out, eyes shut, thumbs up, elbows back, feet apart, knees together, bottoms up, tongue out, eyes shut, turn around, thumbs up, elbows back, feet apart, knees together, bottom up, tongue out, eyes shut, turn around, sit down. You guys do good with the music.
Are you sure that's not Pentecostal? We don't have anybody new, do we?
Hopefully they'll come back, who knows? Well, did you feel the joy?
Yes.
Good.
And it did get a little hotter here.
Where did that joy come from?
From the tippy top.
You think that, but it came from within, and I know you know that, Sam. So let's take that feeling of joy and hold it in for a while. Even though that we know that joy we felt came from within our own self, we can still feel it from others around us, couldn't we?
Yes.
That is because when we express our true nature, we are in alignment with the true nature that is expressing from others. Truth begets truth. And once you have started, you can never fully let go. Since truth is who and what we are, we can do nothing else but be truth and express truth in our present form. Charles Fillmore said this in Keep a True Length. We demonstrate non-resistance by denying all intellectual opposition and antagonism. When the substance of divine love is poured out upon all alien thoughts, we are not bothered by them anymore. This leads to joy, a positive force that has not been bearing fruit because of the obstructions heaped upon it by the failure to fulfill the law of the all-good. And where do those obstructions come from? They come from our subconscious that we put there. Sounds very easy to command, control, and direct every thought we have, and it is, depending upon how many obstructions we have heaped upon ourselves, put in our subconsciousness to this point in our life. With that said, the first step is the hardest, and you have already taken it here today by expressing and feeling that joy. By allowing yourself to feel joy, know where it comes from and how to connect with it, you can build upon the power that it is within you, and each step will become easier. Learning about joy and experiencing it is important to all aspects of living. From Charles Fillmore's 12 Powers, he says, never repress, next slide please, never repress, there's the back. I'll just read it from here. There it is. Never repress the impulse, the force, the zeal welling up within you. Commune with it in spirit and praise it for its great energy and efficiency in action. At the same time, analyze and direct its course. As zeal alone is without intelligence or discretion as to results. And in a snippet, that tells you how those obstructions get in our way in our subconsciousness. Because we allow zeal to go forward and let those ideas be filled with non-truth. So today we have learned where joy comes from, which is where? Let me hear that.
Within.
Thank you. I knew you knew it. We have learned that we can call upon joy at any time, We have learned the importance of expressing and having joy in our life. We have experienced joy together, and we know we can be in a place of joy at any time, alone or with anyone. So as we go forth with this knowing, we are blessed and we are being a blessing to the world by sharing our joy with others. In closing, let us join in the power of love through joy, and know that God is blessing you now. So it is. Amen.
Yeah.